name's Slash Rose, and this is the Scars and Stillness podcast. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Um, Today's probably just going to be like a check in and some updates, maybe a little bit of how I'm feeling, but nothing too heavy. First thing I wanted to bring to attention was that I finally got my new signs. I'm very happy about it. They're a lot brighter than the original, like brand logos and stuff, and so my socials are way easier to read now. But again, if you watch this and you still have trouble kind of seeing what the socials are, I have all of my socials linked in my bio. So, again, if this is something that you enjoy, please feel free to like and subscribe, and follow me on my other socials. That'd be awesome. Um, yeah, just doing probably like a quicker video tonight and, quicker episode and just doing like some check-ins on me. For starters, I'll probably talk about the books. So Dying Roses is out, obviously, that you guys know that. They're all right there. The covers are done and everything's updated in the way that I wanted them to look. So I'm really happy with them now and I'm excited that they're there for everybody else to read too. Um I am actually starting to rewrite and put together my very first book I ever wrote. I was originally going to call it the Soul Tide series, but um, with thought and prayer and stuff like that, research, I realized that I'm no longer wanting to call it the Soul Tide series. I'm going to go with the Heart Tide series instead. Yeah, but I'm really excited. That particular book, I actually hand wrote it. It was the first book I ever wrote. Like, I didn't know what I was doing, but, I hand wrote it, literally, and I remember it took just notebook after notebook after notebook after notebook. I have them in my office box. It's, like, literally a full box of books that it took, and it was huge. It was one book, but it was absolutely huge. I think it was, like, 1,000 plus pages, and so, basically, I'm just reconstructing it and creating it. I'm gonna break it into books and kinda do some rewriting and stuff like that, but I'm really excited about it. It's my baby. Um, I've always been into writing. I've always been a writer. So, the Heart Tide series is very close to my heart. It took me 3 years to write, like, handwrite it, and then obviously I transferred it over from paper to the computer. And it was ever since I wrote that book, I realized I was never gonna handwrite another book ever again. That everything was just gonna literally be on my laptop. And then obviously that's how all my other books came was just a lot easier via laptop and not handwriting them. But it was a really cool experience and I like um really got into it like with the characters and the world that we created and stuff like that. Um Lots of inspirations from people and yeah. So I'm excited to kind of see where it takes me and I have no idea when they're gonna get published. I don't know that right now. I just know that it's kind of something that I'm just gonna kinda take my time on a little bit and not really overstress it at all. Just, you know, see where it takes me. But that is my goal is to get a new series published and going. And I definitely am excited that I chose to bring back the Heart Tide. So anyways, that's kind of a little update about my books. An update about me. Let's see. Um, I'm very tired. I literally feel like I'm stretched so thin. Like I just feel like there's just not enough time in a day. And I feel like there's a lot expected of me, like obviously at home and just with my life in general that sometimes it's overwhelming to like make sure I have everything ready and going for every single person and still taking time to attempt self-care, but um as mentioned in a prior episode, I did get switched back to day shift. I'm currently in day shift training and I'm gonna probably be in day shift training for another week or so. And then once I get sent out on my own, my schedule is going to be even earlier. So I wake up a couple hours, if not several hours before I'm supposed to even leave for work because it's really important for me to have time, like have time to myself, have time with God and prayer and Bible studies and all the things, also working out, trying to make time for breakfast. Um, it's actually a lot easier for me to eat breakfast if I prep it the night before because I'm literally so bad about eating that I'm like that's another huge reason why I meal prep in the first place is it literally keeps me accountable to make myself eat. I've always been really bad about eating. I've never been like a stress eater ever. I've always been kind of a stress starver and I'm trying to do my best on breaking that. My gram, before she was in heaven, she was always like keeping me accountable with eating and she'd call me and say, "Hey, have you eaten today?" Or she'd bring me like a smoothie or something and yeah. So now I've got to be my own accountability buddy and make sure I'm actually eating and hitting my macros and doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But yeah, I mean, I feel like overall life is good. It's about the same. I'm just always busy constantly. Um with the new schedule's been pretty hectic and just trying to get through the training so that way I can just get, you know, let loose on my own schedule and kind of get my rhythm down with day shift now and um also I'm having to like kind of revamp and revisit my daughter's schooling because I had everything tailored to, my old schedule. So now I'm going to have to like do her lesson plans and get going on that and I just, right before I recorded, came on here to do the episode. I just had to get going on the grocery list and figure out my meal prep for the month and get all the ingredients and just did grocery shopping. And so I've got all that taken care of, which I'm happy about. That's just one more thing to check off the list. But I don't really know. I don't really know, maybe it's going to be an early night. I've been up since like 4 o'clock in the morning. Because that just gives me plenty of time to not feel rushed and to be able to have time with God and my Bible and working out and just time alone before I have to get the kids up and take my son to school and, you know, the day begins. But yeah, I don't know. I think sometimes we kind of get lost in the shuffle of things that it's important for us to remind ourselves that we're people too, you know, that it's okay to take a second to breathe. But and, like, as mentioned in one of my other episodes, it might have been last season where I felt like I was struggling with, like, spirit versus flesh. That's something that's still very much, um, has been a challenge with my new walk with Christ, is that spirit versus flesh. Like, literally feeling like in my flesh, I wanna do these types of things, but I'm trying to, like, let go, let God, give it to him, and not react in a human way in which I would. Like, so that's been kinda challenging. I'm literally having to, like, if I get triggered or something, I'm literally having to, like, okay, take it," like, 100 times a day. But that's probably been one of the biggest challenges so far. Um, yeah. I'm still really excited about, like, the class that I go to on Sundays before church. It's really cool and teaching us like in depth about God and Jesus and like this last Sunday we were going over the Bible, like what each book is about, like how to read the Bible, and get the best experience that you can. I have heard from many people and it was really cool to actually hear it um from the gentleman who was teaching the class, who is very seasoned in his faith. It was really cool that I keep hearing from people that if you don't know, like, anything about the Bible, but you wanna start reading the Bible, the best place to start is John. And I've literally just heard that so many times. And obviously, when I had restarted rereading my Bible, I did start in John. And it is true. It's a really comforting book. Um, you get the you get to know Jesus and the disciples, but in John's perspective, and John is, like, talking for everyone. His message is for every human on the planet, which is really cool, and it makes you feel connected, like, right off the bat, so that's been kinda cool. But, yeah, I'm just trying to kind of restructurize my schedule and make sure that all my family's needs are cared for and that I'm still making sure I have time to do my self-care things that are very important to me. Um But yeah, not a whole lot going on this week. Please feel free to message, or comment below and ask any questions that you're wanting me to answer, or let me know how you guys are doing if you wanna give me updates on your week. I'm still planning on I wanna start, making homemade stuff. I just literally have not had time yet, but I am excited for when that comes. I know that I just gotta make myself do it. I have literally everything I need to make homemade bread and tortillas and all the things. I just have to actually force myself to do it. I have to make time. So, I think I'm just gonna plan on the days that I do meal prep that I'm just gonna make myself bake breads and tortillas and really whatever else that we're wanting and needing for that time. But yeah, I don't really have a lot today, guys. It was important for me to come on here and to check in and say hi to you guys and kind of let you know how I'm doing. And but again, if you want to keep talking or if you have any comments or questions, feel free to message me or comment below, and I will do my very best to answer them. I try to remember to do that pretty regularly. Um, and again, like if you want to follow me, feel free to follow me on all my socials. Yeah, and then I will be here next week. I think next week I'm gonna kinda dive deeper. There's been some stuff that I've been praying about that's kind of been on my heart lately that I've been just not sure of, like, when I'm wanting to do an episode about it, but I think I'm gonna do an actual episode, next week, kind of just talking about some things that have been pressing on my heart. But I hope you guys have a blessed week, and to stay safe and just know that you are never alone and you are never not worth saving. Bye, guys.